Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube Live slash YouTube channel. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded and a lot has happened since then with the recent coronavirus outbreak. So I thought for a video it would be great to talk a little bit about how teenagers can cope with I'm here to simply talk about how you've been feeling with this, what you can do to keep yourself busy, and how you can look at the coronavirus with a different perspective. I have a friend who taught me a really important lesson. You can either be negative about something and complain about it, or you can look at the bright side and see how you can fix the situation for yourself. I really think it's important for all of us to look at this situation in a somewhat of a positive light. You can take this time and opportunity to be kind to yourself, try something new, hang out with your family, hang out more with your pets, and I almost think that in the real world, we're always so stressed out about everything, and this is finally time when we have so much free time that we can use this time to recharge our energy. And also, I know us as teenagers are going through a lot of emotions right now. For the people who are fearful of the coronavirus, I am a strong believer that you can't stop living your life to the fullest and be afraid. Most of us are healthy in our age group because the coronavirus is actually not targeting our age group. So we should be thankful that most of us are healthy. Take this time to also appreciate all the people who are trying to find a cure to the coronavirus. You're safe from all the people who are infected. Doctors and nurses, they're not completely safe because they're trying to cure these people. Now, one other thing I want to talk about is online school and how it can cause loneliness. I know I've had online school for the past 2 weeks, and it's been hard because it's an adjustment. Anything that's a change in your life is always an adjustment. And I definitely do feel like it's been lonelier, especially because you can't actually see your friends. And I think we have to take technology to our advantage right now because we can still FaceTime our friends, talk to them over the phone. I know at least I'm FaceTiming at least one person every day because it makes me feel better that I can actually talk to someone who I don't get to see. But my advice would be remember that you're not seeing your friends for a good reason, and as a community, it's our job to stay at home in quarantine out of respect for the people who do have the coronavirus and so we don't infect others, because as a community we have to do things for each other. I actually held a survey and I just wanted to share the responses to that. So I asked 5 questions and I got 60 responses, which is amazing. So my first question was, how bored would you say you are? And I had 40.7% of the people say that they're very bored. 47.5% say that they're somewhere in between, and 8.5% said I love being home with my family. And then I got 2 other responses. Another question was, are you more or less lonely from being home due to the coronavirus? 62.7% said they're lonely, but they can use social media and other resources to talk to their friends. And then I got a lot of other responses. They said, I spend more time with my family, but I'm lonely in terms of friends. Someone just said they were honestly in between. Another question was, how would you say coronavirus has affected you? And I summed the option, and then 76.3% said they're concerned but not panicking. Now, this was super interesting because I thought there was going to be different results. Do you think sheltering at home is a good idea was the question. 89.8% said yes, we're preventing the virus. And one person said that, which is actually super smart, we're not preventing the virus, but we're helping slow the spread. And then my last question was, have any of your events been canceled due to the virus? And 98.3% said yes. Now I'm going to be interviewing a couple of my friends to ask them how they've been doing in their quarantine. All right, I am here with my interviewees. Introduce yourself, guys.
I'm Cameron.
I'm Ava.
And today, obviously, we're going to be talking about coping with the coronavirus, because I know with teenagers, a lot of people are disappointed with what's been happening. So I'm just gonna ask you guys a couple questions. First, just to kind of start off, what have you been up to in quarantine?
So for me, there's been a lot of Xbox, partially because I think that's just what's most exciting for me, but it's also a good way I can talk with my friends on Xbox Party and communicate with them.
I've been playing basketball, reading, and just kind of hanging out with my family.
That's good. How do you guys say you're feeling about the whole situation? Does it worry you? Are you happy to be home? Are you upset about like events being canceled?
I mean, it's nice to be home so I can see my family like 24/7. But I'm really disappointed. I was supposed to go to Florida over spring break, but that got canceled, obviously. So there's definitely a ton of sad parts, and sometimes that kind of overwhelms all the positive parts.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I'm glad that I'm home, but a lot of my events got canceled, and I would prefer to be in school to see everybody. So,
Yeah, I know I was definitely upset after like obviously having multiple events canceled. What advice would you give to people who are upset about events being canceled?
I'd say, despite what most people are saying, it's really not the end of the world. You're definitely going to see the outside world again and see your friends and hang out with them. So you should really look on the bright side of what could come in the future and don't be so negative right now.
yeah, I think just stay positive. I mean, there are uh, definitely good things about this. Like, you're gonna get to stay home, and you don't really have to move around that much, I guess. But like Cameron said, there's gonna be good stuff at the end. So.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, hopefully there's something to look forward to. Is there like anything you guys are looking forward to after this quarantine is over?
Um, just hang out with friends, I guess, because I just don't see them every day like I used to.
Yeah, hanging out with friends, and then definitely gonna go out to like a restaurant or something once they open.
And then what advice would you give to the people who are like very scared about this situation?
I guess, like, sure, it's good to be concerned about it, but you don't have to worry about it 24/7. It's definitely something that you should know about and to be wary that it's present, but you can't live your life in fear because then you're not going to get anything out of it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Just know that if you stay home, you'll be safe. But then too, you don't really have to worry about you. There's a good chance that you're not gonna get sick if you stay home, and just keep thinking positive and just know what's going on.
What would you say to the people that obviously say that the coronavirus isn't a big deal and complain about not being able to go outside?
Well, I would say that the coronavirus is a big deal considering that a lot of people are affected, so you should definitely be concerned about it. And you actually can go outside. Like, I've been taking my dog on walks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I guess you should still be concerned and just stay in. Try your best not to like interact with other people as much, just for everybody else's safety. And you can still go outside, like Cameron said. Like, I've also been taking my dogs for walks and stuff. So
Yeah, I think also we need to get like people to take this seriously because it's so many like lives are being lost in this whole thing, and I feel like that's not registering with us teens because obviously we're like less prone to be affected by it, but I still think we have to take it seriously. So my question is like, how do we tell people to take it seriously in our age group?
Um, I guess, like, although it sounds bad, the only way to like really make them take it seriously is to tell them like the bad parts about it. And like most people don't like focusing on the negative, but in order to make sure that they're concerned enough to to know that there is a virus out there that is affecting a lot of people, you actually have to scare them with like the data of of the severity of this case.
yeah, like if people know what's going on, then they'll want to stay home. They won't want to interact with people, because if they understand, I guess that, like, for example, if we go out and possibly we have it or something and we don't know, then we might be affecting others, such as our grandparents. And I guess if just people understand that, then they will want to stay home. So then in the future, hopefully soon, we'll be able to go back and just live our normal daily lives.
Do you know anyone who is quarantined at home due to being COVID positive?
I actually don't. There
Yeah,
is a nursing home in my city that has 42 people affected, so they're just like staying locked down there, but I don't actually like know anybody there.
yeah, I don't really know either.
I guess the big question is, as a community, is there anything we can do to have like a more positive outlook on the situation? Because I mean, obviously getting sick and having a lot of people die is not positive, but for us, how can we look at this with a different light?
So I was actually like looking through Instagram because sometimes when I'm bored, I look on the Instagram like explore page, and I saw that in Italy, where coronavirus is heavy right now, they're having like a karaoke sing along from their balconies, and they're singing Kesha. So I think definitely like singing is definitely a way to make everyone positive, especially like even those like 2000s pop songs. That's just like really upbeat and gets everyone in a good mood, and the songs that you know all the words to. So I think like definitely like feeling like you're still strong together, even though you're quarantined at your own place, is definitely a good way to help this situation.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. And I guess just being positive in general, looking at the positive sides of this, and just if everybody does that, I think everyone will feel a bit better.
Yeah, I feel like as a community, we really need to empower people. I'm not really sure how. Maybe use like words and say like, we can do this, we can get through it together, because I think also we can use this as a time to look at, hey, in quarantine, we can all do something we love. So, like, if you've always wanted to try something, now you have that time to try it. Now, what tips would you give to those who are bored? Like, how can you use your time?
Yeah, again, I'm gonna bet there's a ton of stuff in your house that you probably don't expect that you have. Like, you're probably gonna have like a ton of books or a ton of board games they don't really play. And honestly, just go for it because you do have family members. So they'll definitely want to do stuff with you. So I think just like even though it may not seem like an Xbox or baking, as Ava said, but you should really just like try new things to try to solve your boredom.
Yeah, just do like the things that you love, even if you don't necessarily remember what that is, but just kind of look around your house and hang out with your friends through FaceTime and just spend time with your family.
Yeah, and this is one of my favorite questions. Has the coronavirus taught you anything? If so, what lessons has this experience of being quarantined taught you?
Honestly, it has taught me to cherish every moment that I have at ACS, which is my school, because now that I can't see my friends from Monday through Friday, and even some of the like classes I miss because it just gave me something to do. So I definitely like cherish my last couple of moments here.
Yeah, I agree with Cameron. Like, I cannot wait until we go back to see everybody and just spend the last month that we have there. And I guess, too, that this has taught me not to take anything for granted because I never realized how different this is from like normal life. Like, we always thought that we could go out to stores and restaurants and just things like that, which we can't do now. So.
Is there anything else you guys want to add, just like to tell everyone, like about anything with coping with the coronavirus?
Um, I guess don't be scared, but be ready. Like be prepared to it like in case like if like someone in your family gets it, then be prepared to know like what to do from there on. Like don't pretend like oh it's my family's basically immune.
Yeah, I agree with that. I guess just be careful and just stay positive because then you'll feel a lot better about it and everybody else will too.
Well, thank you guys. I love doing this interview with you, so thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Mahi.
you.